What is going on, traders? This is going to be a quick video. I want to get you guys somewhat prepared for next week. Of course, I'm going to make another video, most likely Sunday, but I just want to get you guys locked in and prepared and possibly start looking at your charts or whatever you look at to get you prepared for what can potentially come next week. Um, I'm going to say this. I'm going to start off saying this. I still don't think the bottom is in. A lot of you are saying the bottom is in. Even in my Discord, there's a lot of them are like, I think this is the bottom and everything, and I don't think that's the case at all. We're looking at quant data here. I know a lot of you think you're smarter than institutions and everything, but bear with me here. Hear me out. So today in the Discord, we kept getting alerts that institutions are loading up on a lot of these SPY puts, and so right now we see today at around 3:08 Eastern time, somewhere around that time, right? You see that institutions or exchanges, whatever, are loading up on SPY puts. March 21st is the expiration, 547 is the strike. You got puts, and then they were loaded up at 575.95. And then you can see the quantity of contracts they got here. And then you can see the ask. So if it was at the ask, that means they're buying these contracts. If it was at the bid, that means they're selling these contracts, right? And so you see the premiums here, 700K, right? 700K, 200K, 100K, 100K. They're putting a lot of money on these positions, guys. A lot of money. And then the strike, I don't think I mentioned the strike is 547. And then we can click on another spike, right? I believe these premiums are high. And this is a small spike, by the way. And you got like 1.85 million. Now, I know there's bullish spikes, but trust me, if those spikes were important, I would show you guys those spikes. They're not important. Trust me. Okay. You can use quant data yourself and check for yourself. All right. But when we're looking at the SPY here, or not the SPY, but when we're looking at, what institutions are doing here, you see that they're loading up even more puts. March 12th. That's next Wednesday. That's the next Fed meeting, guys. The next Fed meeting, strike 558, 558, 558, 558, right? All at the tape, at the ask, above the ask, above the ask, above the ask. Quantity is insane, right? 400K premium, 300K premium, 100K premium, so on and so forth. You guys get the idea. And then the sentiment is bearish, and then you got the exchange slash institution, whatever you want to call it, right? So I think it goes without saying that if we are to take this seriously, you don't have to take it seriously, do your own DD, whatever the case may be. Um, it's not looking good. All right. I don't know if we're going to drop to 540s. I think that's kind of insane. I think that was somewhat of a sign of a crash. But if we're looking at the SPY, specifically the weekly time frame, right, you ended up making another three black crows pattern, right? And we talked about this pattern before. Now, when we go to the NASDAQ, let's use the NASDAQ for an example here, right? And again, another three black crows pattern. But what happens after you form a three black crows pattern? Well, the next day you consolidate. This is a daily time frame, by the way, but the next day you consolidate it, right? So we may not tank next week. It doesn't mean we have to tank all the way to the downside or do anything crazy next week. Maybe next week ends up being a doji. Maybe we just bounce next week. I don't know yet, right? I don't have enough confirmation for us to determine that we're going to see more downside. But what I can say is that this weekly time frame, that this does not look good. Okay. Now, granted, there are buyers here at this level right here at around 574. There's buyers here. You got bulls here. You got bulls here. So there's hope. Okay. Maybe we see some type of retest back towards the upside here, and obviously we'll go more in depth in the next video. But maybe we see some type of retest back towards 590. We talked about that being a potential move before, right? So it's very much possible, right? Very much possible that next week we see some type of bounce. But I just, I'm not trying to fear monger. I'm not. Okay, I'm really not. But every time I show you guys what institutions are doing, more likely than not, it plays out. Okay, it doesn't play out right away, but more likely than not, it plays out. Okay, it doesn't do it all the time, of course, but again, more likely than not, it plays out. Like even in the last video, right? We talked about the VIX, and a lot of you are. It's crazy how a lot of you still doubt the VIX, like how powerful this thing is, how great of an indicator this thing is. It's insane, right? The VIX, I told you guys about institutions loading up, what was it? 30 strike calls on the VIX. We still got plenty of time on those positions, right? 20, I think they expire March 21st, right? We ran all the way up to about 26.5 on the VIX. All the way from what, between 23, 24, we ran up all the way to 26.5. So, I mean, again, I don't know where we're getting this idea that the bottom is in. I don't know what YouTuber is saying this. Maybe they're right. Maybe maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm not seeing it. And the reason being is I don't know since when this started happening, but since when did we start like underestimating the 200 MA? Like when we go to the daily time frame on the NQ, we're still below the 200 MA. Why are we downplaying this? What are we talking about? A bottom? Nothing about this screams bottom, right? We go to the ES. We're slightly above the 200 MA on the ES, but still not worth calling this a bottom, right? We look at the triple Qs. We're still below the 200 MA on the triple Q. SPY, you're slightly above it, or you got a bounce off of it. That's a decent sign, right? But then you look at semiconductor ETFs. You're below the 200 MA on semiconductor ETFs. Like again, what are we talking about here? Not only that, high, low, lower low. What are, again, SOXX, right? You go down to the 4 hour time frame. That's actually what I meant to do on SMH. You go down to the 4 hour time frame, high, lower high, lower high, lower high. You might create a lower high here. You got a bullish engulfing candle, that's a decent sign. Lower low, lower low, lower low. Below the 200 MA. Nvidia. Nvidia, I keep telling you guys, this thing is heading to 100. I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody says. Of course, do your own due diligence, but this thing broke below 110 and went all the way to 107. High, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower low, like lower low. We created a lower low today, you know. So I don't know where we're I don't know. Don't know what else to tell you guys here. But believe me, I'm not a perma bear. You don't have to believe me, but I will hope you believe. I'm not a perma bear. I have plenty of bullish videos. When the market was running, I made plenty of bullish videos. But the moment I start seeing that turnaround or the potential for a reverse, I start making bearish videos. I do what the market tells me. Okay, that's what I do. All right. So Nvidia, we're below the 200 MA. If anything, I mean semiconductors, and this is what I've been talking about. When the market ran that one time, I was the one that was like, yeah, but semiconductor ETFs are still looking bullish. I mean bearish. I'm like, yeah, nothing about this screams bullish. I will believe the market is bullish when semiconductor ETFs start being bullish themselves. I said that, right? So, I mean, again, this is not telling me anything about a bottom, guys. I'm sorry. Even with Nvidia, this is where things get crazy, and hopefully I can find this. But again, I mean, keep screenshot this. Do what you need to do. I'm doing. A lot of you get mad at me, but all I'm doing is telling you guys what insiders are doing. The people that you should hate, the people that claim that they're manipulating the market. These are the guys I'm showing, and I'm showing you what these guys are doing. And a lot of you are just like, you know, go back to McDonald's, bro. And I'm just like, you're welcome. All right, you're welcome, brother. So I mean, Nvidia. Let's look up Nvidia real quick because I think this was insane, and I'm hoping I remember these contracts, and I'm hoping it just like pops up immediately. So I'm gonna just click one, and then if it doesn't work out the first time, then we're just going to yeah. So Nvidia, you got 105 puts coming in, 600K premium, 500K premium. But not only that, okay, not only that. Let me see if I can like really lock you guys in here. Okay. We're gonna do the 100 strike here. And I showed this in the Discord, right? You got a lot of 100 strike puts coming in for Nvidia, guys. Look at this. Today, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, okay? Nvidia, March 21st, 2025, 100 strike puts loaded up 111.94. There's your quantity, ask, above the ask, above the ask, so on and so forth. You get the idea. 200K premium, 100K premium, 100K premium. Then there's your various exchanges, institutions there. All right. I mean, it keeps going. It keeps going, guys. All right. And I've been saying for the longest, since Nvidia was at 140, I've been saying I think it's going to tank towards 100. I've been saying this. Hopefully somebody locked in. Hopefully somebody believes me. All right. If you did your own due diligence, don't blindly believe. Okay. But I mean, there's a ton of these guys. There's a ton of these. I'm here to just help. Okay. You don't have to like me. You don't have to believe me. You don't even have to do what I do as far as a trader. But when it comes to these guys, people that's putting 88K on a trade, 88K, not Wall Street, Wall Street's trash, but people that's putting like 400K premiums on a trade, millions on trades, that's concerning. All right, that's concerning. And when we look back at Nvidia, what about this screams bullish? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. You broke the neckline of your head and shoulders pattern, all right? You retested it, you broke down. Okay. So again, you let me know. You let me know. Maybe I'm missing something here. Okay. This is why I don't need to go over every single thing, right? Because I got the information is here. The information is here, and I'm giving it to you guys for free. All right. So let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think is hedging? I know you guys love thinking everything is hedging because we want to be bullish. We want the market to go back towards all-time highs. I understand completely. Or do you think we're going to see more downside? Do you think the bottom is actually in? And if you do, like, give a legit reason. Don't just say, "Oh, I think, yeah, that's it. We're just going to go towards the upside." Like, give a legit reason. You know. Um, but here again, I'm just here to help. I'm letting you guys know what institutions are doing. I haven't really gave my full insight because I haven't really looked at everything. But when we're looking at the weekly time frames across the board, you are forming the three black crows pattern everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Maybe it's too obvious. Okay, maybe it's so obvious that institutions do a psych uno reverse on everybody. You know, but you got a double top here, top top, and then here's your neckline. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Discord link is in the description below. We are going to go crazy next week. Again, the fact that those SPY puts were loaded up for March 12th, which is our next Fed meeting, you do the math. Until the next video.